for this real nigga shit. Pumping up. Niggas can't see out. Freddie Foxx with the twin Billies. Niggas can't see out.
Like I said, I guess, you know, the fans, you know, everybody was basically sending emails, and I was getting MySpace messages like, yo, I got a raggedy copy of Crazy Like a Fox off the internet, and people were getting this crappy download that I had nothing to do with as far as releasing. And I said, you know what? I own the master. I still control of the masters. Let me remaster this record and release it. And I thought that it would be good, you know, for me to take some of my unreleased material and just remaster it without changing it or doing the records over, like, because that would be me cheating people out of what I was doing in '94, whatever year. And I just wanted to put it back out. Only thing I changed was there was never any artwork for the album, so I had to create some artwork for Crazy Like a Fox. Well, you know, I was dealing with a lot of my guys that I grew up with were either going to prison and having to look at 10, 20-year stint. I was actually doing a lot of shows in prison. I was going to shows and doing concerts. I was paying, you know, because what happened is I had a fallout with my label at the time. So what I decided to do was do a tour of the prison system and go on stage and perform live for the inmates. And I was just bringing that album. I wanted them to know that album. So that album has been circulating through the prison system for many years, you know, because they were getting it on cassettes. And I was also experiencing the great experience that I had doing that album was wonderful, was that I was able to work with so many guys. Like Chuck D came in and did his work with me. Tupac came into the studio and did his work with me. It was just amazing, man. Just all the different people that worked with me that came in. It was actually a personal recording session. It wasn't like somebody was emailing me a vocal or nothing like that. You know what I mean? It was personal, where I actually got a chance to use my creative energy and them use their creative energy, and we come up with something to work together. You know, digging in the crates. Big L was in the studio all the time with us. You know, those kind of guys were around. Creative, always top rate energy. He would come in and say, yo, you know, this. He was somebody listened to the music in depth. Like, he would listen to the tracks. Like, it was almost like he was trying to listen through the speaker. You know what I mean? And he'd say, oh, I know. He was very fast too. I know what I'm gonna do to this. You know, he'd go right in. He wrote his rhyme right there in the studio. He didn't come with anything already done. He had, you know, he would listen to the music and come up with what he was gonna do right there. And then he hung out for the whole session. Like, he didn't come in and do it and leave. He hung out to make sure that whatever was done on the record sounded good, and what he did was matching what everybody else did. And his energy was always good. You couldn't be in the studio with him and not have a good time. You know, a good guy. That was my man. I think it's a little less variety. You know, I would like to see some of these artists use their voice tones a little different. You know, sometimes, you know, you got to remember your voice is an instrument. Your vocals are an instrument of your body, and you should be able to not always, you know, like, you listen to some of these guys and they always rap with the same tone. They don't change the tone. They don't try to, you know, give the listener something to jump into and get lost in. You know what I mean? I think sometimes people focus too much on criticizing the music instead of listening to what the artist was doing when he did it. You know, one of the stupidest questions that people always ask, and I don't even think they know why they ask it, is who produced the track? Before they hear the music, as soon as the beat starts, who produced it? You know, what does it matter who produced it? Listen to the music, and then, you know, get into what the artist is saying. I think people have made the underlaying of the music more popular than what the artist is doing, and there has to be a marriage there. You know what I mean? I mean, nobody wants to hear a whack record. I can give them that, but, you know, just a difference. When I was making those records back in the days, you know, me and that producer was in the studio locking in, and he was saying, look what I did. And then I had input and say, oh, yo, you know what? We should add something right here. When I stop my vocal right here, you should do this right here. And he said, okay, well, say it this way. And, you know, it was like a collaboration of two jazz musicians getting in and working together. Right now, people are emailing vocals to each other, and they're like, the producers in one state, both the other rappers in two other states. There's no connection on the record. Well, the good things are, you know, about the industry that I love is that I was able to, it took me around the world, it took me to be able to have conversations with other nationalities that I know my parents and their parents couldn't have talked. You know, different cultures, different types of people. I met people in the UK, I met people in Germany, I met people in Japan, and I met people, you know, in Australia and all these other places that I was able to, you know, have conversations with, you know, not based on color, not based on religious beliefs, but based on the fact that they connected to some song that I made. And he said, yo, man, one kid said to me one time, he said, yo, Foxx, I was in jail, man, and that record's so tough kept me from killing myself. You know, and when he said that to me, it was amazing, because I said, wow, I'm glad I had that effect on you, because, you know, you would have killed yourself and hurt a lot of people, you know what I mean? Some of the bad things is, you know, that how money turns people into other people. You know, some of these MCs I've known before they were rich, and they're not the same people anymore. You know, not just financially, but morally, they're not the same people anymore. You know, they have these attitudes and egos like they're bigger and better than people, and they look down on other people. But you can't. You got to always remember, the fans can only be bamboozled, but for so long. You know, I don't think people, the bad things, I don't think people put as much energy creatively, like we said earlier, into the songs that they used to. I think that cheats the fans, you know. Everybody's just so up on their hot 16-bar verses, but what about the whole song, you know what I mean? To see that we lost some of the great MCs based on the fact that there are people in this business who take rap battles to the next level, where they want to start, you know, killing people and shooting people and carrying on. If you ain't an MC that's capable of holding your own, then don't get on the mic. You know, if you take a L, then either you come back with your pen game on top of your pen game, or fall back out of the ring. You know, it's sad to see people die and get shot and lose their lives over something that the media hyped up. You know what I mean? That was disappointing to me, that when Tupac died. I was very hurt when Biggie died. I was very hurt when Freaky Ty passed away, and when Proof passed away. Some of these great MCs and great artists, man, you know, that these guys made an impact in this game. You know, and some of them, I didn't meet Proof, but I listened to his record. I listened to his mix CDs and the stuff he did with Eminem. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. For the last 2 months, 3 months, I've been working with KRS-One on the Stop the Violence album, right? Before that, before he came to me to work on the Stop the Violence project, I was working on I got a motorcycle club called Corrupt Mob, KRUPTMOB, right? And I was working on what they call motorcycle music. So I was rapping about motorcycle stuff in the community, the motorcycle community. People who ride motorcycles know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I was doing all kind of stuff musically and charitable events in the community, so forth and so on. But nobody paid more attention to me than when I started talking about violence and things of that nature. It's funny how people pay attention to stuff like that more so than they pay attention to anything else. And that's what I mean. It's a testament to the fact that, you know, this country that we live in is built on violence, and that's the things that people pay attention to. Radio DJs play it. You know, people in the street want to hear the gossip. Who's sleeping with whose boyfriend is, who's pregnant with who. It's like a fashion now to have a celebrity wife or a celebrity husband. Like it's just Hollywood is becoming, hip hop is becoming Hollywood. People are forgetting about the art of MCing and DJing. And I mean, that comes at that. What that comes in at is when you have, you know, when you have fans that want to hear a certain sound, just like you have people that want to hear, you know, certain MCs battle with each other. It's like collaborations now have been turned into battles. Even if you're cool with the person, your fan base is always going to say, oh, I like his verse better than the other verse. So I have a saying that I put on my mix CD that, you know, criticism is easy, but art is difficult. You know, it's always easy to criticize somebody's work, but the artwork that's put into it, you know, people take the easy route out. The listener is taking the easy way out by automatically jumping into criticizing the record. When the record first come on, oh, I don't like the snare, I don't like the bass line, I don't like this. And it's like, before you listen to the whole entire song, you done already picked it apart in the first 3 seconds of the record. Rapping in high school, drinking 40, smoking sherm. Listen to cold crushing Grandmaster Cass spitting. Getting something in that niggas ain't now getting. Feel me? Remember, everybody wanted to be peace, God divine. Real niggas kept their attributes right through 99.